together. We change the world.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Theo here with a should you pull tier list for Minwu's BT cycle. Some disclaimer before we start, this tier list is just my opinion and is not a representation of strength. DFFOO is a fairly balanced game where you can make almost all units work in the correct team. If you have a favorite, always go for them. That said, this video might be helpful if you're playing on a stricter budget. And unless otherwise mentioned, all characters are assumed to have their full kit. I won't go too in-depth with each character's kit, so check out other content creators if you're interested in a more detailed breakdown of each character. For the first tier, we have Theo approves. These are meta-defining characters that can potentially make it easier for you to clear events. Having them in your pocket can sometimes save you a bit of headache. Next is the You Decide tier. Character that is generally useful and can fit in many parties, or have easy FR conditions, or ones that work extremely well with minimal investments. Consider pulling these characters if you need to expand your roster. The final tier is Safe Skip, usually reserved for characters that doesn't have a unique gimmick, or characters that just require too much investment and setup just to be decent. First up is Act 3 Chapter 10 Part 1, featuring Minwu as the new BT and FR and reworks for Lock and Vanille. We can already hear her moans from the safe skip zone, Vanille, a dispeller and debuffer with a trap that also dispels and debuffs. Nothing too unique, but she does share a banner with Minwu. He can steal hearts and treasures, but he ain't stealing our gems. Lock is also in safe skip. Damage dealer that has seen his light of day in the Lufinia Plus era, but not really worth your investments in Shinryu. But he can be quite fun to play with his buff management. And anchoring his way into the Theo approves tier, we have Minwu, a hybrid holy damage dealer, healer and support with traps that can be detonated both on his turns and on enemy turns. Like Aerith, he has a non-attacking FR that batteries and heals the party. He has two easy conditions, plus 5% when dealing holy breath damage, and this includes off-turn holy attacks, and another plus 5% when doing an off-turn attack. Minwu has a party-wide holy enchant, so the first condition is covered. The second condition might require a little bit of team building, but we have so many options for off-turn damage. We have offensive off-turn characters like Cisne that happens to be Minwu's banner mate, and also defensive ones like Gladio that has superb synergy with him. We can expect to get plus 10% HP damage bonus every off-turn activation. Minwu's BT is a cherry on top that allows for extra trap detonation. Before we move on to the next event, like the video if you enjoy this kind of cycle overview and subscribe for more DFFOO content. Next up, we have Van's Intersecting Wheels, featuring only a single rework and a new FR for Van. Much like the freedom one has as a Sky Pirate, Van flies in the You Decide zone. With his rework, Van now has minimal build-up time and require only one skill use each to unlock the strongest versions of his abilities. His damage has been updated to current Shinryu standard, with all of them doing 8 dumps including splash, while his LD have 6 AoE dumps. Let's take a look at his FR condition. Plus 40% when using a free ability, with a bonus of 20% if it is Van himself, and plus 20% when Held Bravery is at least 20% of max. His second condition can be fulfilled by his BT effect that does have a 20% Brave Flaw effect. The first condition can be quite tricky to achieve. Van himself can do it as long as his LD buff is active, but even that only lasts for 4 turns. You can expect to have a bit of downtime during his force time. Final event of the month is Act 3 Chapter 10 Part 2, featuring a rework for Kefka and a new FR for Hope. Clowning his way onto the safe skip zone is Kefka, a debuffer and a disabler. But like the other disabler before him, Paralysis is just not a very strong kit in an era that encourages off-turn damage. And buffing his way onto the top echelon of DFFOO, we have Hope. Hope can wave his armpits repeatedly and win you fights. With his FR, he becomes the strongest supercharger in the game. plus 30% when the party has at least 13 buffs, and plus 20% when doing a battery, with Hope himself getting a bonus 20%. Hope's FR is an instant turn ability, allowing Hope to immediately take turns and wave goodbye to the enemy. Assuming maximum force enhancement, every use of Shell and Protect will give you around 123% or 125% depending on synergy. Do this several times before passing the turn off to a nuke like FF7 Sid or later on Anacro with her rework. See them melt the enemies instantly. But do be warned that this supercharging blitz strategy usually require bringing Luna Freya to enable consecutive turns. Outside of this strategy, Hope can work well in a triple support team with heavy battery to capitalize on his FR. And my pull plan for this cycle. I am only pulling for Hope this cycle. As good as Minwu is, he just doesn't fit my playstyle. For Van, I am a little conflicted by his FR condition, but maybe I throw a small amount of tickets his way. And that's it for the tier list and my pull plan for Minwu's BT cycle. What is your pull plan for the cycle? Let me know in the comments. If there's anything you disagree with, let me know as well. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.